In my opinion, this could be the biggest mistake this mom has ever made in her life, and I believe by now she knows that. So please be nice in the comments, but let me know your thoughts, because some people believe this was not her fault. But let me know your thoughts. I just feel like she was just gullible and fell into the hands of the worst person ever. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm G and I do true crime videos every day of the week, so be sure to subscribe and make sure you turn on post notifications so that when a new video is uploaded you are alerted first. Also, let me know which cases you'd like me to cover in the comments below. Let's get right into it. So today is the 9 of 10 days of terror and we are going to be covering a crazy case. So disclaimer, all the things I say in this video is things I've read on the internet and I'm compiling into one video, but I just want to give a trigger warning because this case contains violence against kids and it's just really horrible. But I'll do my best to give you the most information without giving all the disturbing details. So let's talk about Cherish. Friday, June 21st, 2013 would be just a regular day where Rain will be taking her daughter to the store that she has been to so many times whenever she needed something, but she had no idea that this day would be the worst day of her life. Rain was the mother of 3 beautiful girls and Cherish was the oldest of them and she was 8 years old. She lived with her boyfriend and her 3 daughters, which made a family of 5, and they really did not have that much money. The family of 5 lived on a small budget in Jacksonville, California, and Cherish would be on a flight the next day to go visit her biological father in Florida. So her mom took her shopping to go get some nice clothes. So she and her boyfriend did not have a car, so what they usually do is they walk to the places they have to go to or have to take a taxi. Knowing that the airport was a little further from where they lived and they would have to leave very early in the morning to catch her flight, her boyfriend gave Rain $100 to take a taxi to the airport, drop Cherish off and bring her back home. And because Cherish was going to be staying with her dad for the entire summer, Rain thought it would be nice to walk her to the local store and buy a few clothes that she could wear while she's with her dad. She also needed to buy a few things for the house, so she decided to storm out with the girls, and Rain's boyfriend reminded her about the cab fare that they need to pay the next day. And she would need at least $60 for the cab fare, so it would be nice for her not to spend anything above $40, so they would have enough money for the fare. And she agreed and said goodbye and went out with the 3 girls. The 4 ladies walked into the store at about 7:30 p.m. and they did some shopping for about 1 hour. She saw a really cute little dress that had some coconuts on it and she wanted to buy that for one of her daughters. Because it's a discounted store, she went to ask if that dress was on sale. So she asked and the clerk told her it was not on sale. So she returned to the dress back to the rack, took her daughters, and they were on their way out. They walked out of the store where they met this man just sitting by there. It was an old man who looked about 50 years old, white hair and his white mustache. He looked old enough to be Rain's father and she recognized him because while they were in the shop, he had been staring at her and just looking at her while she was paying for her things, and he looked as if he was going to rob her, and so she recognized his face. The old man turned and looked at her and said, "If you really want that dress, I could get it for you." And she immediately felt stupid for thinking that, hey, this person was looking at me like he was going to rob me, whereas he was just trying to be nice, and it felt like a sweet gesture. So she became more relaxed and decided to engage in a conversation with him. And I think anyone in her shoes would feel the same, because you're looking at this guy like he's such a adorable person and he comes out with such nice words and he's been like, oh, okay, maybe this is actually a nice person. And so she's having a conversation with him and he said he was sitting there and waiting for his wife and that he has little ones too. He feels like she really has a handful. He could help out because he has $150 gift cards that they really don't need, and he could give that to her, which she really did need at that time. After a few minutes of having this conversation with him, she realized that the man's wife was not pulling over, but the man reassured her and said he was just waiting for her. She was driving a gold car and the kids were already getting bored. They're kids, they need to be doing something all the time, so they were getting bored, and his gift card was for Walmart, so he knew that she did not have a car and she had those kids, and he's offering her a Walmart gift card and they're not at Walmart at that time, so he offered to drive them there so they could use the gift card and just have his wife meet him there instead. Okay, let's be real, he's an old man. He looks like someone who might have had kids in his life and probably understands exactly what she's going through at this point in her life, so he's not scary, and it just seems like someone who is genuinely nice. So their conversation went on, and he was becoming more and more not like a stranger. They talked about the church he went to, they just talked about a lot of things. He even offered to show her his identification so she knows him, and that would ease her mind. And while they talked more, she was like, okay, if we can go to the Walmart, which is just 10 minutes away, and start shopping, by the time his wife arrives with the gift card, they'll already be done shopping and be ready to go. And so she loaded herself, her kit, and the things she had bought into the man's minivan. So when she got into the van, she noticed that the chairs around the middle seemed to have been taken off or maybe missing, but the chair at the end of the van was still there, and so it had seat belts for the girls to sit in. So she loaded all of her kids there, strapped them in, and she went to sit at the passenger seat with the driver who had become her new friend, and they kept conversing. She had learned about him. She learned his name was Don. She knew the car he was driving. And when they arrived, he seemed to take out his phone to be like he was answering a phone call, talking about dinner plans, while she went to the back to get the kids off the car. Don, Rain, and the three girls stayed at the parking lot waiting for his wife for a bit, and he noticed that the young girls had started becoming agitated and they were uneasy. So he was like, okay, why don't you guys go inside and start shopping, and I'm going to wait for my wife here and bring the gift card to you guys when she arrives. So Rain left the things she had already bought in his car and took her three girls into the shop, and she started making a pile for each girl, and they just were moving around shopping. After a while, or what she felt like was a really long while, Don came over to the shop to meet them, but he was still without his wife. So she was like, okay, where is your wife? And he was like, she's coming, it's okay. Don himself was shopping, and what he had picked out was a large bundle of green and black ropes. Yep, ropes. The girls kept shopping around, and Dawn even accompanied Cherish to go and pick out a shoe, and they picked out the shoe and she brought to her mom. But Rain asked her to return the shoe because it looked like a pair of women's heels. I mean, heels? This dude is looking at your 8-year-old daughter like a woman and picking out a woman's heel for the child. So, I mean, that's disturbing, but she did not want to be that paranoid person that she had already been before he had proven himself to be like nice. So they have been shopping for about 1 hour now, and first off, let's talk about this 1 hour. Your wife, whom has been nowhere to be found for the past 1 hour, and they're shopping aimlessly with a gift card that is yet to arrive, and they have been shopping for 1 hour and she has still not arrived, which is crazy because the distance from the shop where they were and the Walmart was just about 10 minutes, so there's no reason why she should not be there at that time. But Rain was worried that she might be taking too long with her girls, and because they were taking too much time, it might be annoying to Don. So she's trying to talk to him, and he was like, no, okay, it's fine, take your time. But first of all, what I'm thinking is, it was already 1 hour, why has the gift card not arrived yet? But apparently they still had a lot of shopping to do. So the girls became hungry, and Don took notice of that and decided to make an offer. So Don said he was going to McDonald's, and what would they like? So Cherish ran over to Rain and asked her what she would like, and she said she would like a cheeseburger. And Cherish ran behind Don as he was moving over to the store. So Rain knew that the McDonald's was still in the store and they would not be going outside of the store, so she did not feel worried or disturbed when she saw Cherish running behind Donald, and he did not ask for her permission to take Cherish along. Maybe she would have said no to that, but she also had this confidence, like, this is a big store where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of employees, there's a lot of people shopping, and so there's a lot of cameras too. Everyone is looking. No one is just going to take your kid out of here. And she also had the reassurance that they are not leaving the store and they're just going to another side of it. She also felt like this is someone that she somewhat knows now, and there was no reason to really feel worried. And I know that she would have said no if he asked for her permission, or if she at least knew that they were going to be walking out of that store. It was going towards their closing time, so they made an announcement that they will be closing at 11 and people should bring their stuff to pay and leave the shop. It was crazy how time had just flown by, and she had been lost track of time while shopping with the girls. So she took her two daughters and they were moving forward to the line, hoping to meet Dawn and Cherish there, and she did not see them there. So she looked over at the McDonald's and she realized that the McDonald's was actually closed. everything was already rolled down and the lights were off. So she was beginning to panic and worry. So she looked around, did not find Cherish, Donald, the gift card or her cheeseburger waiting for her, and that's when she realized something might be wrong and started running around frantically looking for her daughter, looking at the empty house just over, and she began to scream and ask for anyone to call 911. And at the start, no one took her seriously because you're just shopping. Like, no one took her seriously until an employee ended up giving her a phone to make a 911 call we're about to listen to.
Jackson 911, Robinson.
Hi, I'm at Walmart. I'm in turn. I think I've been taken.
What do you mean?
Taken by a stranger. I can't find her.
Okay, ma'am, how old is... And you say you're at the Walmart on Lim Turner?
Yes, I am.
Okay, where did you last see her at?
Walmart. I met a man today at Dollar General. He saw that I was struggling to buy them some clothes. He drove us here to buy us some clothes, and the only reason I went with him because he said his wife was going to be here. Because I told him I don't take rides with strangers.
Okay, ma'am, what's...
Yes.
And her last name? Can you spell that for me, please? And is she a white female, black female?
Excuse me?
Is she a white or black female? What color shirt?
I don't remember what clothes she's wearing because I'm panicking right now. I'm trying not to panic.
Okay, and she was last seen with this man?
Yes, he said he was going to McDonald's and he hasn't been there because the store is closed right now.
Okay, is he a white man or a black man?
A white man. He's got white short hair and he's got dark eyebrows.
You say dark short hair?
No, he's got white hair and dark eyebrows. I had a strange feeling about him when I first met him. He took her to the dressing room twice, and I was hoping that she would be okay. And I was looking at the shoes, and I didn't want him to think that I was overly protective, freaking out. But now they're not here, and I find it very odd because he knew that.
Oh, okay, ma'am. What color vehicle does he drive?
It's a white van.
Do you remember any stickers or anything on the side of the van? Anything that you can remember at all? Did it have tinted windows or anything?
I know he's got carpet in the van. I didn't take a good look. Sorry.
And he said what?
I didn't take a good look at the van.
Okay. Do you remember did you see any tag on it or anything? Was it a Florida tag?
No, I didn't look at that. I feel like a fool.
Okay, can you remember what he had on?
No, I don't remember anything because I'm panicking right now.
Okay, ma'am, what's your name?
My name's... He said his name is Dawn. He said he was supposed to meet his wife here, and his wife never showed up, and I couldn't figure out why. His wife didn't even show up at Dollar General.
And he told you that y'all were going to meet his wife at the Walmart?
Yes. First she was supposed to show up at Dollar General, and then he was going to meet with her at Walmart. And we've been here probably 2 hours. And she didn't show up, and I have this cart full of clothes that he said he was going to pay for with a $100 gift card. And I had a bad feeling. I thought, well, I feel like pinching myself because this is too good to be true. So I got to the checkout. He's not here. He isn't here. Now I'm hoping he's not raping her right now because I've had that done to me. It's not fun. She's supposed to go to California in the morning on the plane. And he knows this. I told him this. He knew when the store was closing. I had a bad feeling about him.
Okay, how long have you been looking for you? When was the last time you saw him? How long ago?
About half an hour ago.
So you've been looking for her for a half an hour?
Yes. There's nobody in the store. and he knew the store was closing. He said he was going to McDonald's. She went with him. I should have told her to stay with me.
He was going to the McDonald's inside the store?
Yes, there's a McDonald's inside the store. He wasn't here. Oh, somebody said they saw him, but he's not here. He should have had the nerve to stand here and wait. He must know that I'm panicking by now.
Okay, ma'am, where are you in the store now? Are you outside or where?
No, I'm in the front of the store. I think I need to hang up because...
no, ma'am. Are you a white female, black female? What shirt do you have on?
5'8".
What color shirt do you have on?
I have on a short black polka dot dress and brown flip-flop sandals. I have long red hair.
And you right in front of the store?
Excuse me?
Who are you talking to?
Walmart employee. They're talking to my girls because they haven't had anything to eat.
What you say, ma'am?
They haven't had anything to eat, so the Walmart employee was talking to my girls.
Talking to your who?
My girls.
Okay, you have more kids with you?
Yes, I have two. My other ones, I think he took her.
Okay, ma'am, you think she's been taken? You say you have other kids with you?
Yes, I do. He was giving too much attention. He wanted her to buy these really tall shoes that were women's shoes, and I told him no. I said they're too high for her. I wouldn't even wear shoes that high. Maybe he was grooming her. I hope to God he doesn't kill her, and I hope to God he doesn't rape her.
Okay, and when did you meet him today?
I met him at Dollar General in Edgewood. I was struggling with my money to buy the girls some clothes, and he saw that what I was doing, and he waited for us outside the store. And he said that he was waiting on his wife to show up. And so I waited around to meet her, and she didn't show up. And then he said he was going to give us a ride over here to Walmart. And then we waited in the parking lot for maybe 20 minutes for her to show up. She didn't show up. So we all went into the store. We've been here about 2 hours. And she didn't show up. And I don't understand why he would leave right now unless he's going to rape her and kill her. That's the only reason. And I'm wasting my time standing here.
You're not wasting your time, ma'am. We have officers on their way to you.
I can't remember what I'm wearing. I need to sit down and be calm and close my eyes and try to remember what I'm wearing.
Okay, ma'am, just stay in front of the store and yes, try to think about what she's wearing and what he's wearing. So when the officers get there, you can tell them, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, can you think of anything else about the van or anything?
It had a line around the van as if it were maybe a metal, not a sticker, that maybe, I don't know how to explain.
Like a pinstripe? You remember what color the line was?
I think it was dark, maybe like a silver. And it had a big space in the middle of the van where he had taken out a couple of seats, and he put my stroller in there, or I put the stroller in there. I don't want him to kill her. I don't want to be one of those parents that are going through this. I feel responsible because I told him when I first met him that I was a little bit scared of him because I thought he was waiting to rob us outside the Dollar General because he was just standing there. And he said, well, if you really want that dress, I'll go get it for her. I should have told him no. My girls need clothes so bad, that's why I let him do it, but I'm so sorry. Now these ladies have to put all the clothes back in the store.
Can you remember anything else about him? Whenever you were talking to him, did he sound funny, like he had an accent or anything? Or
He said he works for Haberjacks.
he said he worked for Haberjack?
Yes.
Did he say where they lived?
No, I don't remember that. He said his wife is from the Virgin Islands. We had a little chat in the van on the way over.
And did he say he lived on that side of town or anything?
He said he didn't know this part of town. He wasn't sure about this part of town. Oh my gosh. He knows the store is closed. He knows McDonald's is closed. Why in the world would he take?
You don't see the van in the parking lot or anything where y'all left it?
Well,
have you been outside to the parking lot?
I went outside the door, but I don't think I see the van. That's good. Yeah, he took her. He took her away.
Okay, who are you speaking with, ma'am?
I'm speaking to a Walmart employee. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Are you outside now, ma'am?
Yeah, there's 2 police officers out here, 2 police cars.
Okay, go ahead and speak with officers.
Thank you.
After the police arrived, they first treated the case like a missing person case, which I feel like it should have just been a kidnapping from the get-go, but they were still trying to understand the process of what happened, which makes sense because everything that happened is just unreal for you to think that, okay, you are scared of this person, then you trust the person, and then he turns to kidnap someone in the presence of everybody in front of cameras and has literally no fear of his face being seen and his vehicle being seen and all that. So it was just unreal to think of at that time. But after 4 hours of investigation, the police were able to make an identification of the man, who was Donald J. Smith. He was a registered sex offender and lived with his mom, who owned a white van. I mean, this dude was literally 65 years old. That's what he told Rain when they were chatting, and he lived with his mom. Cherry on the cake is this guy had just been released from prison 21 days ago, and he had a history of being a violent sex offender. Imagine the hell the dad who was expecting his daughter in a few hours at 3 a.m. they're calling you that she's not going to be coming and she's like in an investigation case as the victim. Imagine the hell they must have been going through, and to find out all of this about this man and know that your daughter is with him, it's just the worst feeling I can imagine ever. In 1992, he had been arrested and convicted for attempting to kidnap 2 teen girls. Like, imagine what he would have done with them if he succeeded. His latest crime was in 2009 when he was making inappropriate calls to a child while pretending to be someone who works with Child Protective Services. Police were able to confirm his identity with Rain by showing the mugshot and the car his mother had, and she knew it was him and could imagine the horrible things that he had done. Someone that she had just considered was a friend now, and the horrible things he had done, being a sex offender with missing with her 8-year-old little girl. So they drove over to Donald's mom's house to try and find him there, but they weren't successful. The police updated the Amber Alert with his face and the van and the description of it, and just put everything that he had done, befriending the mother, trying to be friends, and kidnapping the little girl, and it went live at about 4 a.m. that morning. At 9 a.m. the next morning, just 4 hours after the Amber Alert was issued, one of the police officers who was on duty saw a vehicle pass by, and it matched the description to Dawn's. So she released everybody that was with her and tried to pursue this guy and called for backup. They were able to successfully pull him over, and he complied and came out of the vehicle, and that's when they started to search the vehicle. After searching everything, they could not find Cherish or any trace of her in that vehicle. They could also not find the things that Rain had bought from the first shop in the back of his car. They could not find the stroller, and even the seat was not there. So the police arrested Donald, obviously, and while he was at the station, he just grew crazy and then shouted that she's in the water. At about the same time, a mom and her daughter called to the police indicating that they had seen the white van that was in the Amber Alert at a certain area. So the police rushed over with their canines and did a thorough search, and they were able to move closer and find something like a river where they saw the body of deceased Cherish. The way her hair was floating and the way she was looking, it just looked like she was already gone. The crime scene investigators were able to come and do what they had to do and carried little Cherish out of there. It's just so sad how it just moved from having a really good day with your daughter and making plans on her going to see her father to her just not being there anymore, and it's just horrible. Before an autopsy was conducted, they took a rape kit and swabbed her and made sure that that was taken so they know if she had been assaulted. Donald was charged with violent sexual assault, kidnapping, and murder of beautiful 8-year-old Cherish. During the trial in 2015, the medical examiner literally broke down in tears explaining what had happened to this little girl, and I won't give you the details, but you should know that he had gagged her, raped her, leaving her genitalia absolutely destroyed, and then strangled her. He had gagged her so bad that she had been bleeding from her nose, her eyes, and she just did not have an easy death. And when she was dead, he had dragged her through the woods and put her under the tree, thrown debris and blocks on her and inside that water, just hoping that no one is going to be able to find her body. All the evidence gathered from Cherish's body, the surveillance footage of what he had done, which shows that he had planned everything from driving them from that store to the Walmart, and everything had already been planned, and there was no wife coming from anywhere. The prosecution really had a good case, but after showing all of this evidence to the jury, the defense decided to use that opportunity to blame Rain for the kidnapping of her daughter in the first place. They said it was reckless for her to have taken her children out at night that day, especially because they had to get up at 4 to be able to make Cherish's flight the next day by 6 a.m. And also that she had followed a stranger into a strange van that did not really have proper seats for the kids, and they had gone miles away from home with no cell phone, and that she had left Cherish move around with Dawn around the store for more than 4 times, and it had been 39 minutes from the time when Cherish left with Dawn to the time when the 911 call was made. Is it true that Rain made some mistakes that day? Of course she did, but her choices and her actions did not cause the death of her daughter. It was Don's decision, and he had already made that decision the moment he had seen the family walk in, and he just decided he needed to do something horrible, and that's the plan he pulled through with. An acquaintance of his actually testified during the trial that when Don's son was younger and he had a young daughter, he had brought his daughter to play with Don's son, and the eyes that Don looked at his daughter were very uncomfortable for him, and since that day, he had never let his daughter anywhere near him again. If she had followed her gut feeling, maybe Cherish would still be alive, and yeah, that's true, but she is very much a victim because she had fallen into his trap and believed everything that he was saying. Something that also bothers me is that this man has been doing this for such a long time, and he really deserved to have lived in prison for the rest of his life, and all of this should have been avoided, because during the trial a woman came there to say that he had attempted kidnapping her when she was 13 years old, and this is one of the girls from the first kidnapping that I talked about. So if this is just someone who keeps doing the same thing, it's just someone who should not be left on the street, probably be treated for the mental issues that he has, or be in jail to keep everyone else safe. He had had so many opportunities to harm them, but he just didn't, because she was comfortable enough to get into his car, and he drove them exactly to where he said he would. And they had spoken with him in the parking lot for a while. If he wanted to hurt them, that would be a really good time to do it, but he still did not. So she had had every reason to put her trust in him, and he waited until the store was about to close before he made sure there were as few people as possible and just left with Rain. And he knew that to be able to get close enough to Cherish, he would need to go through Rain or butter himself to her, and that was exactly what he did, especially having the time to distract her with the idea of having this cart filled with many dresses for these little girls. On February 12, 2018, it was an easy decision for the jury, as they only took 12 minutes to decide that he was absolutely guilty, and they did recommend the death penalty for him. In May, he was sentenced to death with the judge telling him that he had forfeited his life, not just to live among us, but also his right to live at all. And may God have mercy on his soul. That was it for me today, guys. What do you guys think? This could have been avoided, but he had given her so many reasons to trust him. What do you think about this case? And let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you tomorrow with another video just like this. Remember to be the best version of yourself, and goodbye.